If you're 50 or older and somewhere in the back of your mind, there's a quiet voice asking, is what I have saved going to be enough? I need you to stay with me just for a few minutes because that voice is not weakness. That voice is telling you something important. And most people ignore it until it becomes a crisis. I'm not here to sell a dream. I'm here to show you something you may not have considered yet. Your experience, the years, the work, the lessons, the problem you solve may already be worth something to someone else. And there may be a simpler path than you think. Maybe you have worked for decades and done everything right. You show up, you gave your best, you carry responsibility, you helped people, you solved problems, and you still reach that season of life wondering, do I have enough? What if my job changes? What if I get laid off? What if I need another income option? Where would I even start? That is not something most people say out loud, but a lot of people feel it. And if you feel it, you're not alone. My name is James. I'm 63 years old. I spent over 30 years in operations management. I led teams. I built systems. I trained people. I solved problems that most people walk away from. And I reached 63 thinking I had done a lot, but I also reached 63 thinking, now what? My retirement picture was not what I expected. I was not willing to pretend it was fine. So I started asking a different question. Not how do I start over, but what can everything I already know become? The question changed the direction I was heading, and it's the same question I want to walk you through today. I'm building this path publicly, step by step, right now, because I believe you should be able to see exactly how this works before you decide if it's right for you. Here's what the world keeps telling people over 50. Reinvent yourself. Start a brand new business. Learn everything from scratch. Compete with 25-year-olds online. And I want to say clearly, that is the wrong starting point for most people. Not because you cannot learn new things, but because you're not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. And experience is worth more than people realize. So the question is not, can I become somebody completely different? The better question is, what can my experience become right now? That one question changed everything. Instead of starting with pressure, we start with clarity. Instead of asking, what should I sell? We ask, what do I already understand? Who could I help? What problem have I seen solved, managed, taught, survived, or explained? What would someone else be thankful to learn from me? That is the heart of the experience to income pathway. Experience can become clarity. Clarity can become direction. Direction can become a simple path, and a simple path can become options. Before you start over, look at what your experience can become. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they start with the wrong thing. They start with a logo. They start with a name. They start with a platform. They start with a course. They start with a bunch of random AI prompts. They start asking, what should I sell? Or they look at what someone else is doing and think, maybe I should copy that. But that creates confusion because if a person is unclear, the offer will be unclear. The problem is unclear. The content will be unclear. If the audience is unclear, everything will be unclear. And here's what happens when people start with the wrong thing. They spend months building something nobody asked for. They spend money on tools before they have a direction. They get overwhelmed. They get confused and they quit. Then they tell themselves, I guess this isn't for me. But it was not them. It was the order they built before they had clarity. And without clarity, everything feels harder than it needs to be. The pathway is simple. Experience, clarity, direction, income path. Firstly, look at your experience. That may come from your career, your leadership, your caregiving, your faith, your hobbies, your personal challenges, your family responsibilities, or lessons you've learned the hard way. Then we look for clarity. We ask, what problem do I understand? Who might still be struggling with those same problems? What could you help them move toward? Then we look for direction. Can that experience become a community, a workshop, a simple service, a course, a guided offer, a resource. And then, if that makes sense, we begin exploring an income path. But notice the order. We do not start with income, we start with experience. Then we find clarity, then we choose direction, then we explore what may be worth building. That order matters because order reduces overwhelm. And this season of life does not need more overwhelm. Experience, clarity, direction, income path. This is the order. That order is not complicated, but it's the same order most people skip. And skipping it is exactly why most people stay stuck. Now I want to show you what this looks like inside the experience to income pathway. When you come into the community, the first thing you'll notice is this does not feel overwhelming. It's not 100 modules. It's not a maze of content. It is a clear starting path. The first place we want to go is to the experience to income starter. This is the free starting path. It's not designed to overwhelm you. It's not designed to make you feel like you have to design everything in one day. It is designed to help you answer a few simple but important questions. What experience do I already have? What problem do I understand? Who could you help? What outcome could you help them move towards? What is the first clear direction? By the end of the starter, the goal is not perfection. The goal is one simple clarity statement. I help this type of person with this problem so they can reach this outcome. The sentence matters. It begins to organize your experience. For example, I help a new manager handle workplace conflict so they can lead with a calm confidence. Or I help caregivers organize daily responsibilities so they can feel less overwhelmed. Or maybe this, I help adults 50 and older turn life and work experience into a clear outcome direction. Person, problem, outcome. That's where clarity begins. And that one sentence may eventually lead to a school community. It may lead to a workshop. It may lead to a service. It may lead to something you have not even thought of yet. But it starts with clarity, not a logo, not a problem, not a course. Clarity first. One thing I hear most often, I don't know what I know. And I understand that completely. When you have been doing something for 20 or 30 years, it starts to feel normal. It stops feeling valuable. But here's what I want you to understand. It's not normal to someone who's still struggling with it. What feels ordinary to you may be exactly what someone else needs. That's why we built the Experience Spark Library. It is not more content to consume. It is a set of prompts, exercises, and examples designed to help you remember what you already know. It asks you questions that pull out the experience you have been carrying, because that experience is still there. We just need to bring it to the surface. And once it's on the surface, we can look at it clearly. We can ask, is something here that's worth building from? Most of the time, the answer is yes. Let me tell you exactly who this is built for. This is for the person who have worked hard their whole life and is looking at retirement wondering if it will be enough. This is the person who just got laid off at 57 and is not sure exactly what the next chapter looks like. This is for the person who is still working but knows they need another option. Not someday, now. This is for the person who have tried a few things online and got confused and walked away thinking it's not for them. This is for the person who has real experience, real skill, and real value, but no clear path to turn it into something. This is for the person who is not looking for hype, not looking for overnight income, not looking for someone to make promises they cannot keep, but who is willing to take a clear, honest, step-by-step path and find out what their experience can become. If that's you, you're exactly who this is built for. Now, let me be honest about who this is not for. This is not for someone looking for overnight income. This is not for someone who wants a shortcut without doing the work. This is not for someone who wants to copy what someone else built and paste their name on it. This is not for someone who is not willing to think honestly about their experience, their direction, and who they might help. And this is not for someone who needs guaranteed results, because I will not promise that. Nobody can. What I can promise is this: if you're willing to take a clear path, answer honest questions, and do the work one step at a time, this may be exactly what you have been looking for. I want to be honest with you about something. I do not know where this path leads for you. I do not know what your experience will become. I don't know how long it will take. But I know this: experience can become clarity. Clarity can become direction. Direction can become a simple path. And a simple path, even a small one, can become options. Options you do not have right now. Options that may change what retirement looks like. Options that may change what the next chapter feels like. Options that may change what you tell yourself is still possible. And at 63, building this publicly, I'm walking this path with you, not ahead of you, with you, because I believe the people who need this most deserve someone who is honest about where they are and honest about where the path can lead. You have been carrying the experience for decades. It's time to find out what it can become. Here's what I want you to do right now. Click the link below and join the Experienced Income Starter. It's free. There's no credit card. There's no pressure. Come inside, answer 5 questions, get your first clarity statement, and if it makes sense, we keep going together. You have been carrying this experience for decades. Let's find out what it can become. I'll see you inside.